Have you ever wondered why some weeks feel like we're moving at warp speed, while others seem to pull us into deep reflection? This week, the cosmos is inviting us to do both, to pause, reflect, and then surge ahead with renewed clarity. Welcome to your star forecast for the week of Monday, the 10th of March. I'm your host and astrologer, Kristy Gray. This week, we've got a powerful week ahead with a full moon lunar eclipse, 2 significant planetary conjunctions, and Mercury preparing to dance backwards through the zodiac. Let's dive into the week's cosmic weather patterns. First up, on Wednesday, March the 12th, we're experiencing 2 significant conjunctions that will set the tone for the entire week ahead. The Sun and Saturn will meet in the mystical waters of Pisces, creating a moment of spiritual accountability. This conjunction asks us to look honestly at our dreams and take practical steps to manifest them. It's like having a wise elder sitting with us, helping us turn our visions into reality. On the same day, Venus retrograde and Mercury will conjunct in passionate Aries. This rare meetup brings matters of the heart and mind into sharp focus. You might find yourself revisiting conversations about love, creativity, or even self-worth. So pay attention to any insights or revelations, as they will likely to be significant. The crescendo of our week arrives on Thursday, March the 14th, with a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. This eclipse illuminates the axis of service and spirituality, pushing us to find a balance between our daily routines and our soul's calling. Think of it as a powerful time for releasing perfectionist tendencies and embracing the beauty of imperfection. Eclipses, especially this one, are particularly significant, and this one will mark the first eclipse after the nodal axis shift into the Virgo-Pisces axis, which happened in January of 2025. So this eclipse initiates a new chapter that will unfold over the next 18 months. And we have one more eclipse occurring in Aries in 2 weeks' time. Now, this particular eclipse in the constellation of Virgo is calling us to examine our practical routines and service to others, whereas the upcoming Aries eclipse will focus on our personal identity and new beginnings, wrapping up any ongoing themes from the last 18 months. So together, they're forming a powerful reset point for both our personal and collective evolution. And just as we're processing this eclipse energy, Mercury will station retrograde on March the 15th, beginning its backwards journey through Aries and Pisces right up until April the 7th. This retrograde invites us to reassess our communication style, especially in areas where we might be too impulsive or unclear. So there's a lot happening this week, and I feel like I've given you a lot of the detail, but what can you do to work with the astrological energy so you can use it to your advantage? These are the best ways to navigate this energy this week. So use this week's Sun-Saturn conjunction to create structured plans for your spiritual practices, your rituals, and your routines this week. So essentially, devise a plan. During the Venus-Mercury conjunction, review past relationships and communication patterns with compassion. So if there's been any disconnects with communication, it's a great week to address it. Work with the lunar eclipse by decluttering both your physical and mental space. And you can start preparing for Mercury retrograde by backing up your devices and being extra mindful when it comes to any forms of communication, whether that's through writing, speaking, teaching, emails, or even text messages. I wanted to share some Stoic philosophy with you today because when I'm reminded of intense periods of change, like what we're navigating at the moment, I always think of how we actually respond to change. And this beautiful wisdom comes from Marcus Aurelius, and he shared, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Because this week's astrology is really our reminder that change is not just inevitable, it's essential for our growth, our evolution, and the change that we're going to be experiencing this week was always destined for us. It can just sometimes feel a little crunchy because eclipses tend to force that change upon us, sometimes before we even feel ready. But I want to remind you that I encourage you to embrace any of these transformative energies that you're personally experiencing right now. For myself personally, I'm in the middle of a cyclone. I haven't had power for 3 days because I'm based on the Gold Coast here in Australia, hence why the podcast is a little bit later to you this week than it normally would be. And this has even been a reminder for me that change is imminent. We're always destined to evolve, but change is also always around the corner. And as much as we might like to have certainty and a faux sense of control over our lives, as the more that we can remain flexible and embrace whatever is thrown in our path, essentially how we bounce back and how we respond is what is going to bolster our strength and our courage and our determination from the inside out. And we're always divinely guided and where we're meant to go. So please trust that even moments of confusion this week or any pause that you're experiencing are a part of your greater evolution. Thank you for tuning in to the Cosmic Hotline for your weekly dose of cosmic wisdom. I hope you have a stellar week ahead, no matter what you're navigating this week. And I will be back next week with regular programming for you. But until then, keep exploring the stars within and without.